G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I had the honour and pleasure of attending the Let's Go Greek festival hosted by the church community of Agios Ioannis of Baptistis in Parramatta, St John the Baptist Greek Orthodox Church in Parramatta. And I was really impressed with all that was showcased on that wonderful day. The dancing, the performances, the speeches, the food, the shopping experience, the games and rides, everything as a total package was just perfectly put together. And the weather, even though it started off overcast with a bit of a sprinkle, cleared to make it a perfect day. That kicked off around about noon, just after the church service finished, around about 10:30, and finished with a spectacular performance by Konstantinos Pendelidis, and a wonderful fireworks display. This was the 10th anniversary of the festival, and every year it just gets better and better, and it's got to a point now where there are tens of thousands of people who attend this event. Not only Greeks and Greek Orthodox, but people from different faiths, from all walks of life. It's a family environment where children perform, where children come with their parents to watch performances and to enjoy the day, including senior citizens, and as I said before, just people from all walks of life who for a day are able to immerse themselves in the wonderful Greek culture that has spread to all corners of the world. I recall hearing a quote once where it was said that Greece's greatest export is its people. And my parents and many migrants left Greece in a number of waves over a number of decades, but the biggest wave of migration happened in the 50s and early 60s, where many Greeks were forced to leave their homeland, were forced to leave their families, their villages, and all of those places and things that they held dear to their hearts. And the reason I say that they were forced to was because of the incidents and the outcomes of World War II, where Greece valiantly and gallantly resisted and fought back for as long as it could, but eventually fell victim to the German, the Italian and Bulgarian forces who illegally occupied Greece for a number of years and caused a lot of issues and problems during their illegal occupation, which included the rape and pillage of the economy and brought Greece to its economic knees, as well as causing a lot of pain and suffering. And it all came to a head in the late 40s, where Greece broke out into civil unrest with a civil war, which put father against brother, and people in the village, so it completely divided Greece in a very vicious and unproductive way. and caused a tremendous amount of hardship, which, as I said before, forced a number of people, a number of young people, to decide on their future, because if they stayed in Greece, it would have been much too difficult from an economic, from a work, and from a family perspective. So many of the best and brightest left Greece to go and find a new life in another country. Some went to America, others went to Canada, others went to places in Europe, and some came to Australia. And as I said before, Australia was the selection, was the pick for my family, my father, my mother, my uncles, my grandparents, and lots of others made Australia their new home. But it's interesting to note that whilst they left their homeland, most of them, and I spoke to my father about this, and I've spoken to many people about this, most of them only planned to leave for about 5 years to come to Australia, to work, to save up some money, and then go back to Greece and continue their life in Greece. But alas, like many people who travel and discover two homes, it becomes very, very hard, and many, if not most, of the migrants who came to Australia ended up staying here and dying here in this country. Which leads me to my next point, that the Greek Consul General of Sydney, in his speech at the Let's Go Greek festival, said boldly and proudly, and in a way that really resonated with me and most of the people in the audience, where he said that Greeks don't assimilate. It's not in our DNA, it's not in our nature to become like everybody else. He said that Greeks don't assimilate. Greeks integrate. Greeks hold on to, keep their unique culture, their way of thinking, their way of celebrating and living life, and they don't swap out what they have readily with other things unless those other things are a significant improvement on what they already have. And even then, they'll give it a Greek flavour. So the Consul General of Sydney hit the nail on the head when he said that Greeks don't assimilate. We don't want to be like everybody else because we have a strong, a powerful, a rich culture that has endured for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and it's been handed down to us. So what we want to do we Greek, something which is not as good or not as appealing, should I say. So the Let's Go Greek Festival highlighted and showcased the beauty, the wonderful depth and richness of the Greek culture in its dance, in its costumes, in its songs, and in its spirit, a spirit of generosity where we opened our heart and gave it to everybody else to enjoy with Philotimo. Until next year, wishing everybody all the best, and God bless everybody.